Sea of Thieves has made some very controversial changes in the game's recent years, some that even you might have used. Some of these changes might have been some small tweaks, but others started a huge community uproar on multiple platforms. So in this video, we're gonna go over some of those massive changes and see just how controversial they were, and stick around for the very last one because it's so controversial, I'm almost afraid to even talk about it. The first controversial change that Sea of Thieves made was because of one simple design change that could have meant the difference between winning and sinking. If you're sailing on your boat and you have your sails fully down, you would not be able to see in front of you because the sail is low enough to be blocking the front of your boat. You'd either have to have crewmates give callouts or go to the front of the ship yourself to see where you were going if you were solo. However, the Dark Adventurer or DA sail had a special V-shaped cut on the bottom half that allowed for players to be able to see under the sail even when it was fully down. This gave a special advantage to the helm because they would be able to see through the V-cut and in front of the boat. But an advantage like this didn't come free. While every other sail is relatively cheap, the Dark Adventurer sail costs you about 8.5 million gold. So many, and I mean many, people spent a lot of time to save up for those sails to have the advantage of seeing what was in front of them. But during the end of 2023, Sea of Thieves made the change to take away the V-cut because they do not want any one cosmetic to provide any sort of advantage over another sail, therefore making the 8 million gold Dark Adventurer sail just like any other sail. I partially like this change, not because I thought the V-cut was unfair, but because I hate seeing that ugly sail that screamed, "I bought this with Alliance server money," as much as I see your mom. Which is like every day. In terms of the V-cut advantage though, I actually like the idea of having a cosmetic that, while expensive, anyone could get that would give them an advantage if they so choose to have it. If it were up to me, I would allow for the V-cut to be an in-game paid service that the shipwright could cut onto any sail, still giving the DA sail a V-cut. Now, while this change altered the advantage in navigation, this next one altered combat strategies. Previous to Season 12, everyone knew the only way to board a boat was to either climb up the ladder or deck shot from a cannon. But there was actually a secret third way that, if timed right, could throw off your enemy completely. If you were trying to board a sloop and had a high wave incoming, then you could use that wave to push you up high enough to be able to interact with the enemy's harpoon, cannon, or map table, allowing you to get onto the ship without touching the ladders. But this strategy had to have 4 very specific conditions to pull off. The boat that you were trying to board has to be a sloop, it has to be stationary, you have to have a good high wave to be within distance to interact, and you have to time the interaction correctly. Pirates that were able to achieve this board though had the potential to turn the tables of a fight, either making a finishing blow or distracting long enough to allow your crew to repair. But it was so uncommon, many pirates, especially new ones, knew nothing about it. Sea of Thieves saw this as an unintended mechanic of the sloop interactables, and therefore around May of 2023 removed it. On one hand, pulling off mechanics like these feels super rewarding and makes you feel like you're progressing your mechanical knowledge in the game, like when you pull off a sword lunge from one boat to the other. But on the other hand, it was unfair to newer players that didn't know about this mechanic. Even if you didn't know about this mechanic though, you definitely know about this next one, and I'd wager to say that you might even be using it right now. And also, if you learned something, make sure to subscribe to my channel for more content like this, otherwise I will find you, Noah. Now, this one hasn't been removed yet, but it is confirmed to be a feature that will be removed in the future. If you haven't seen it before, you're either a new pirate or you've been playing Sea of Thieves with your eyes closed for the last 6 years. Loot juggling is the process of allowing yourself to sprint while transporting loot from one point to the other. The advantage of it is to not only shave off time for your play session, but also to be able to sprint on land or swim fast in water with a piece of loot while being chased. Sea of Thieves has decided to remove it because, like the others, was an unintended feature that gave someone an advantage that the devs don't want you to have. I actually agree with removing it, even though I'm an avid user of it. Having loot in your hand gives you the disadvantage of movement speed, so the person that might be chasing you has a good chance to catch up to you, giving the battle a more interesting and more lengthy outcome. Though I'm gonna hate walking around at the speed of queso. And the last controversial change that was made in Sea of Thieves is probably the most controversial of all. Quick swapping was the process of having 2 guns as your weapon slots, normally the Eye of Reach and Blunderbuss. You shoot one gun, then pull out the next gun, then follow quickly by sprinting and then shooting without having to sit through the animation of taking out the second gun. I think as long as this video game has been out, people have been using the quick swap function, and since Sea of Thieves never patched it during those early years, people probably assumed it was okay to use. But during Season 10's launch in late 2023, Sea of Thieves finally decided to put an end to the quick swap feature, and even went so far as to punish people that still try to use it with an even longer animation delay. This caused a humongous uproar in almost all socials: Reddit, Discord, Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, by people that were using this feature because Sea of Thieves let the feature go on for so long. If I'm being real with you, I've always been a tried and true sword user, only having tried to use the double gunning quick swap feature for maybe 10 minutes, so I don't have a full opinion on the subject, though there are good videos about it. But what do you think? How about you let me know in the comments, or come tell me over on my Twitch, or I might be streaming Sea of Thieves right now. And if you want to learn why the notorious guild update in Sea of Thieves failed, then click on this video right here and learn all about it.